A generic step-by-step plan for spiritual growth doesn't exist. People might have to move in different directions, even opposite directions, in order to get closer to the center. For that reason, the steps that you need to take may be extremely different from someone else's. The same holds true for whole churches. However, once you have identified your individual starting point, it is usually quite obvious what your next steps ought to be. For that reason, identify your starting point. Many of the NCD tools at your disposal are targeted at helping you in this endeavor. What are you supposed to do with these results? First and foremost, accept them. Celebrate your strengths, since they are divine gifts. And don't fight against your weaknesses, but look for creative ways to grow in those areas. Remember that everyone has strengths and weaknesses. Paul had them, Peter had them, Moses had them. Only Jesus had a perfectly balanced profile. Since you are not Jesus, you don't need to be upset if your profile is just like mine, out of balance. Since every believer is out of balance, you don't need to feel like you have a life-threatening illness. Rather, consider that you are working with a personal fitness trainer who suggests you focus on a muscle group that you have previously overlooked. If your own imbalance should be more severe, rejoice that it has been brought to your attention. As a result of this diagnosis, you will be able to take the right steps in order to apply a fitting therapy. The result will be restored health, a prospect that really shouldn't be too threatening. The same thing that applies to you applies to everyone else. Expect other people to be out of balance. Treat it as the most normal thing in the world. Learn to speak openly about your own imbalances and the imbalances of others. Nurture a climate in which it is fun to share about these personal things. It's only shameful to be out of balance when we are not striving to bring more balance to our lives. When you proceed to apply the NCD principles to your local church, keep in mind that the preceding steps have already contributed to the health of your church, even if the focus was primarily on yourself. Since the church is nothing other than people, increasing your own spiritual health is a direct contribution to the health of your church. Analyze the situation of your church both in terms of the 8 quality characteristics and the 3 colors. That will help you clearly see what areas you should focus on in order to experience qualitative and quantitative growth. I don't know the situation of your church, but what I do know from our research is that churches that are involved with NCD and have done 3 or more surveys have increased their quality by 6 points and their growth rate by 51% within only 31 months. Now, take a moment and think through where you could be in 31 months if you were to make the right decisions and take the right steps right now. The facts are available. The principles of church health aren't secret knowledge. We can know what we need to know if we want to know. May God bless you.